Hi, I'm Mark, this is Mark's Tech Vlogs on YouTube, and today I'm going to bring you guys a review of the new HomeKit compatible smart plug from EVVR. Now this product has only just come out and comes from a company called EVVR, spelled EVVR. And this is a HomeKit compatible smart plug really aimed at Apple users as its core market. It also has some built-in energy monitoring features as well. Now at the start of this video, I want to let you guys know that EVVR actually reached out to me and sent me this product to review. That means I haven't actually paid for it. However, I did say to them I will always make honest reviews. And so that's what you guys are going to get from me with this product. And at the time of recording, I've actually been using this product for about a month. And of course, right at the start, as you probably know, smart plugs aren't anything new, and actually they've become some of the most affordable pieces of smart home tech around. And if you do want to get just like a basic Tour compatible one, they cost as little as £10 each. If you do want a HomeKit compatible one, then the cheapest ones out there are the ones from Meros, which cost around £20. Now this one is currently retailing on the EVVR website for $33. That means you're probably looking at a cost of around £30. This makes it slightly more expensive, however it does have a unique design that might actually make this worthwhile. And let's start off by talking about that design. So most smart plugs are simply a small white box that goes into your existing wall socket. Quite often they have a button on the side, and HomeKit compatible ones have a barcode on the other side. Often these are wider than your average plug, and so quite often if they're next to other sockets, it eliminates you being able to use those other sockets as well. This is something EVVR have really tried to address with this design. And that means the actual plug part of this smart plug fits the same size socket as every other plug out there. This means you can still use every socket next to the place you're using this smart plug. Coming off of this initial plug, you've got a small piece of cable leading to a white box. This white box contains all the stuff that makes this smart and also includes a physical button for turning it on or off and an indicator light. Then there you've got another piece of cable leading to a socket where you plug in the device you want to make smart. Now I'm using the UK plug version, but it does come in 4 different types of plug, making it compatible pretty much wherever you are in the world. And of course this design means you can use it without blocking other sockets. This smart plug also feels sturdier than any other smart plug I've used and feels really well made. So let's talk about specifications and features. So this smart plug is HomeKit compatible, which means to set it up and use it, you don't actually need any additional app other than the Apple Home app. That being said, if you do want to access any of the energy monitoring features, you will need to have the EVVR app. This isn't EVVR's fault, this is because of a limitation of Apple HomeKit. This is controlled by Apple, not EVVR. If you're wondering about those energy monitoring features, then the EVVR smart plug monitors energy consumption with 99% accuracy. It also provides zero crossing switching protection, overload and over temperature protection, a shell tamper-proof design, and a button lock function. It's also capable of carrying loads up to 16 amps. All of this is really important for making sure it is safe to use this device. And it's great to see EVVR boasting about this. The HomeKit integration means you can easily set up schedules and control it with Siri, but also every Apple device you own. One really interesting thing is that EVVR have chosen to focus solely on Apple HomeKit, and so this doesn't support Google or Amazon voice assistants. So that's it for spec, let's talk about setup. So being an Apple HomeKit product, setup is super easy. It's as simple as opening your Apple Home app, hitting the plus, choosing add accessory and then scanning that QR code on the side of the device. From there you can give it a name, assign it to a room and then set up any automations you want to. This is all done via the Apple Home app. Personally, I really like that it doesn't require you to have another app because having a million different apps for controlling different devices around your home is a pain. If you do want to use the energy consumption features, however, you will need the EVVR app. But getting this set up is really easy because you just give it permission to access your HomeKit devices and it automatically finds your devices. From there, you just long press the plug in the EVVR app and you can view the energy consumption, the historical data, some logs and some extra options as well. This includes the ability to disable the physical button on the device and choose what happens when there's a power cut, so making sure it retains the previous status. As I said before, not being able to monitor the energy consumption in Apple's Home app is a limitation that Apple provide, not one by EVVR. So let's talk about using this smart plug, because as I said, I've been using this for about a month. And once you've got it set up, there are a few ways you can use it. Firstly, you can manually turn it on or off in the Apple Home app on whichever device you want to, whether that's your phone or your watch or your Mac or your iPad. Secondly, you can use Siri to control it. Thirdly, you can control it using the physical button on the box itself. And then fourthly, you can control it in the EVVR app if you want to as well. And then where things get really clever and smart is you can control it with a variety of automations via the Apple Home app. This means you can set it to only be on during certain hours of the day, or maybe based on whether people are at home or not. You might even want to set it based on the status of other devices around your house. For example, if you've got a motion sensor and it's a light, maybe you want it to turn on when it detects motion. Having it in the Apple Home app means you can combine automations with anything else in the Apple Home app. If you do want to take advantage of those energy monitoring features, you're going to need to use the EVVR app. You can see live consumption and then also scroll back through historical data. Likewise, you can also use the logs to see when it's been turned on or off. And because the smart plug connects to your home Wi-Fi, all this data is accessible outside of your home. To be honest, most smart plugs have some kind of energy monitoring features, and it's not really a feature I've ever really bothered to use. However, it's worth saying it's got this if it is something you want. If you don't want to use it, you don't even need to have the EVVR app installed. So all in all, what's the verdict on this smart plug from EVVR? As an Apple user, the more natively HomeKit compatible devices I can get, the better, because it means I don't have to find different workarounds to get them into the Apple Home app. This is great because it means they're much easier to integrate with my other home products. And this smart plug from EVVR is great at doing just that. It integrates really well into my Apple Home app, it's really responsive, and it just works well. It also has one of the sturdiest designs of smart plugs that I've come across. And actually, whilst it is slightly more expensive than other HomeKit compatible smart plugs, I actually think the quality of this product does justify that extra amount. If you guys do want to pick one up, I have put a link below that you can use. If you've got any questions, do drop them below because this is a product I'm going to keep using and I'll more than happily help you out with any questions. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys again soon.